Hello everyone, I'm Eriris. Today I'm going to talk about Detective Conan. I'll be discussing Detective Conan Manga Chapter 1108 today. First, let's quickly recap the happenings in this chapter. Korn, Chianti, and Rom are talking at the beginning of the chapter. The bodyguard hasn't been out, according to Chianti. Rom gets enraged and tells her to focus. According to Rom, Asaka heard his voice. Then, we return back 17 years. Rom and Haneda Koji are seen. Rom orders his men to leave before the police show up and then come back for Asaka. Haneda Koji takes a hand mirror from his pocket after Rom has left and uses it to leave a message. Kuroda comes while one of Rom's men stays behind to remove his fingerprints from the doorknob. After knocking out the man, Kuroda goes into Haneda Koji's room. Then Kuroda discovers Haneda Koji's body in the bathroom. As Kuroda looks around, Asaka wakes up and steps out of the library. Asaka sees Haneda Koji in the bathroom. Asaka attacks Kuroda because she thinks Kuroda killed Haneda. Meanwhile, Kuroda's phone falls to the floor in his pocket, and Asaka notices Amanda's photo. Kuroda knocks Asaka out while Asaka is distracted by Amanda's photo. Rom is seen in the automobile on the following page. Rom sees a shogi game record in the meantime. Katsumata Chikara and Haneda Koji are the players in this game. After seeing this recording, Rom remembers that his library files had been moved, and he realizes where Asaka is hiding, ordering his men to head back to the hotel. Kuroda, who has Asaka hidden in a suitcase, takes the elevator as soon as Rom and his men arrive on the floor of Haneda Koji's room. Rom realizes Asaka is truly hidden in the library after going to Haneda's room. Rom is distracted when a man reports that the police are coming to the hotel room as Rom is talking to his men that the room is actually not that messy. The man who was knocked out earlier by Kuroda informs Rom that the person who knocked him out was a large Japanese. Rom realizes what has happened right away since he has previously seen Kuroda in front of the elevator, and he tells his men to pursue him. Kuroda crashes as Rom and his guys are pursuing him in their car. Rom and his men are forced to flee since there are too many people staring at them. When Kuroda asks about Asaka, the person seated next to him, the medical personnel who saved him respond that he is the only person in the car. Then we return to the present, to the conversation between Kuroda and Conan. Kuroda was taken to the hospital after the incident and was unconscious for around 10 years. Conan says he has solved Amanda's dying message when Kuroda asks him. We can see Kobayashi and the detective boys in the other panel. Hibara thinks something while she looks at the umbrellas. We see Wakasa in the rain in the last panel. This is the chapter's quick summary. Another amazing chapter. This case file is quite amazing. But there are a few things that I want to touch on specifically. I want to start by talking about Kuroda because this chapter gave us a lot of new information about him. We learned that Kuroda spent 10 years in an unconsciousness after being hurt in a car accident while being pursued by Rom. His regaining conscious must have happened around 7 years ago. Although we learned a lot about Kuroda, did we really learn everything? I was reminded of a question Aoyama Gasho was asked in an interview. I love Kuroda Hayusan. Is he married? That's also a secret. We discussed this in the previous video, but the questions that Aoyama evasively answered in this manner are likely to come true. I wanted to mention the possibility that we might learn more about Kuroda's family in the upcoming chapters. The fact that Kuroda and Asaka met is another thing we learned in this chapter. I wonder if Asaka still believes Kuroda killed Haneda after 17 years have passed. This is just my opinion, but I think she recognized Kuroda wasn't the murderer, but I don't think she likes Kuroda. I think her reaction would have been different if she still believed Kuroda was the murderer. Speaking about Asaka, how did she leave that car? It must have been very difficult to try to flee at that time. Asaka most likely met Akaitsutoma some time after this incident. How and when did they first meet, specifically? We still don't know a lot of things about Asaka. I'd like to draw attention to Wakasa's face in the last panel. I received a comment under the last video. As the comment stated, Wakasa most likely purposely broke her umbrella to mislead Korn and Chianti. However, Hybera's view on umbrellas towards the end of the chapter was also interesting. Did she notice something? I also want to touch on the issue of Katsumata Chikara. Katsumata Chikara, a well-known shogi player, makes his debut appearance in the manga in chapter 899. Haneda Shukichi had won Katsumata, and Katsumata had also lost the Meijin title. On the internet, there are intriguing theories about him. So, what are your thoughts on this chapter? What is Wakasa planning to do? How did Conan solve the code so quickly? Please share your views with me in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for watching the video till the end.